back at it again.
Back at it again. It's good, homie.
I'm on the other end of this one.
Hey.
What you gonna find out about me?
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah,
Welcome to Ink Me Tattoos. This is Meet the Artist. I'm going to be your host today, Jay Ink Me Morrison, Jay Ink Me. And we're here today with Tattboy1000, Mr. Joshua Perry. What's good, homie?
Chilling, and that's Tattboy 1000. So we'll have every artist interviewed. If you want more interviews, we'll do more. If you want to know more about us, we'll definitely talk more. We're just gonna keep it basic in these first ones. You know, we're new to filming, so we're a little nervous all the time this thing gets on, but it's only a little bit. It's time to light the camera.
So where you originally from today? Like around?
Pawtucket, Rhode Island. From the
Bucket.
Bucket. Slim Bucket. Grew up there, born and raised.
What'd you do before tattooing?
I mean, the whole world, the whole Rhode Island's probably learning my story, but I worked in a few restaurants, didn't work out, started hustling. First it was weed, then I got into selling coke, trying to provide. And I was trying to get out the project life and trying to get them a better life. I just chose the wrong way to do it. But basically, the only thing I've ever done before tattooing was street stuff.
Did you always know you wanted to tattoo?
Not really. I remember doing it when I was like 12, but I think it was just a behavioral thing, like doing a little poke and pinches because everybody's telling us don't do it. But yeah, stick and pokes. And then I didn't know. I tattooed you at one point, and even then I didn't know. I don't remember doing a tattoo. That's another story.
That is another story. That was one hell of a night. We can get into that in another session.
If you want to know about the night that I tattooed him and I don't remember, it's a hell of a story.
That
we
night
will
either.
share it.
I remember a little bit, but
I don't remember much. I remember that moment happened, but I don't remember anything in the moment.
That was a crazy night for me.
Yeah, no, it definitely was.
That was definitely a crazy night. The next day, what brought you to Ink Me? Or like, I guess, how did Ink Me come into play since you created it?
So Ink Me, the name, we'll start with the name, because the business plan was written in prison, but Ink Me wasn't the name, it was Convict Ink, and that's only because my brain was in a convict mode. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
I was an inmate locked up doing 10 years, so that's kind of where that came from. But it was a plan to change my life. And then when I started really thinking about the plan, I was like, man, I can help change other people's lives. And not just like people in the street, people like yourself that work a dead-end 9 to 5, that there is no out. It's just they're going to keep you complacent, relying on that check weekly until your life's over. And then what? Then they cash you out, and then hopefully you retire and you live long enough. So I wanted to help change that. The actual name Ink Me came from my mother joking. Because when I was trying to open a tattoo shop, the real story was just crazy. I was doing an app called Pick Me. And I was like,
I remember Pick Me.
Yeah, the social media app. I was doing that with a couple of friends, and you would put pictures like Instagram, but it would be categories. And if you won, we were sending people TVs, prizes. But it didn't end up working out, the business venture with the people I was involved with. So my mom was like, you should call it Ink Me. And I was like, ding, ding, ding. What'd you just say? So all credit goes to my mother. Love you, Mom. You did it. Ink Me is because of her. And I just thought it was so simple, and I drew the guy, and I was just like, Ink Me. Like, who can't rock that as a logo? Ink Me.
Ink Me.
So that's where Ink Me came from.
How do you like working here? How do you like the vibes? Ink Me vibes.
I love Ink Me. Everything about Ink Me. Like when I was on the news and I was talking about, like, I get emotional coming in here, it's seeing you guys. Seeing your growth, like being a part of that, watching you guys work hard to get out of those dead-end jobs and stuff, like, it's super beneficial. Like, I feel like legacy is defined by that. How many people can you help? How many hearts can you touch? And that's something that I'm really trying to get more in depth with. So, we love it here, bro. Like, this is like, I'm here more than home most of the time. So it's like, I don't know if I call this my first home, but it's definitely my second home.
We're definitely here way more than I'm at home, I would say. I put in the hours here. What's your favorite style?
Black and gray. So we all know my favorite style is not color. So if you hit me up for color, I'm probably not answering. That's probably why. But
I can get him to do it.
Yeah, I do it here and there, you know what I mean? But it's just like, I feel like if I have artists around me that's what they excel in more than I do, why would I take your money and not send you to that artist like that can do better than I can in that form of a design? If it's black and gray, I'm all in.
I definitely learned a lot from you as the, as the years went on. I kind of wanted to ask you, like, I was, you know, and I've heard stories. We've been around for a while, you know, grew up and shit. So I was actually like inside, if you don't mind me asking.
Inside of you?
No. Sick
I don't know what inside you mean.
Inside.
Nah, I get it.
Inside the joint.
Inside
You
the
know,
joint.
how did that?
Yeah, they definitely rolled me up and smoked me. Nah, but in all reality, it's actually, I'm saying it as a joke, but it really did smoke me.
He's never been inside me.
He don't know. He was blacked out.
Hey, listen. We're editing this shit.
I'm leaving it all in. This is a raw, uncut.
Uncut, in view. This is how he gets down. He's never been inside me that I know of.
And even if I was, he still wouldn't have knew.
Oh, that's true.
All right, but all jokes aside, inside the joint, terrible. Terrible experience. Terrible 10 years of my life. Did I make the best of it? 100%. I still was
think you have.
laughing because what I learned very fast in prison was they can only confine your body. You can never control your mind. Nobody can. It's once if they can figure out how to do that to people, oh yeah, then you're done. To learn to change in that environment was like the toughest test of my life.
It's huge.
Because I feel like I got strong willpower, but it was just like all negatives, like negative. And you're just trying to be this positive thing right here, and everything around you is negative.
100%. That's insane. I mean, that just for you to be able to create something like this after going through hell, I call that hell. You know, I haven't done anything like that. You know, I've been in there a couple times. Longest was probably like 30-something days, but I couldn't imagine having to do that many years consecutively. That's insane. And I congratulate you just to be able to do what you've done and help me out and help everybody that's been through these doors. It's amazing, bro. I thank you every day.
Life just felt so hopeless. I was like, shit, I'm a rotten. I'm dying in jail. Like that's what I believed. And then I met somebody I became really cool with, playing chess with this guy all the time. Come to find out, he's a double lifer now. He started with 10 years. And he had to defend himself. He killed the guy, caught life, and then after that, he just didn't give a shit. So he killed another guy.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Like when he told me that, I was just like, God, oh my God, like I don't want to turn this 10 years into life.
Yeah.
And I would defend myself. So it's like I know I'm that dumb that I'll go and do something stupid.
You'd have no
trying
choice.
to defend myself, and you don't have a choice.
Yeah, facts. You have to. What was your craziest experience during a tattoo so far? See if we can.
Craziest.
Yeah, the craziest. I don't like. That's a tough question.
Yeah, well, one of the crazy experience for me is when the girl threw up everywhere. It was on a deal day. It was like a $25 tat.
Oh, I think that
She
was
threw
at
up
the old shop. Yeah, I
threw
remember
up
that.
all my room.
Oh my God.
Chunks and chunks of shit.
It was
just
like a
insane.
pile.
And then she's like, I'm so sorry, I ate like 7 pieces of pizza. And she was so little. So I couldn't even picture how this little chick put, and I'm like, that's why you threw up? Like you try to cram all that in your little
I
tiny
was
body.
I was apprenticing,
But what
I
made
had
it-
to help clean that up.
Yeah, and what made it a crazy experience was the fact that
I remember
she
that.
literally hopped up with her friend and left. Remember, they didn't even try to clean. They just took off on me.
Just took off. What was your favorite tattoo so far? Do you have one?
Yep, the one on Tom Brady I did recently on Brandon. Remember, I did the Tom Brady portrait and had the little version of him in the
little one,
uniform.
right? Yeah, I think it's.
We'll throw a picture up here so you guys can see
I
that
did.
tat.
That was actually on Brandon, right?
Yeah, I love that tattoo.
Yeah, that came out really good. So, when did you actually like start getting into tattooing?
So, like we just discussed that I tattooed you prior to going to prison. I did a few, but I was still into the drug game too much, into the streets. I just didn't think it would be my thing. And then in prison, I was drawing. I was doing the portraits for people, like not tattooing. I was drawing on like handkerchiefs, drawing on cards, sending home Christmas cards for people, and they would pay me in tuna fish, stamps, soups, stuff like that. Was what the currency in prison is. Yeah. So they paid me with that, and then I had a seller. He was from Vermont. This kid Herschel. He kept saying over and over like tattoo me, and I was like, bro, I'm not trying to f nobody up. Like it's just not my thing. Like.
Didn't know.
I don't want to mess up. Yeah, I didn't have no knowledge of other than what I thought I learned in the street, but I didn't believe in taught it in the street. So then, the crazy thing is, I bought a whole setup in jail. Like so, in jail, you got to make it. You got to take a bed trimmer, break it open, take the motor out. Basically, it becomes contraband. So then you get in trouble. You get caught with it. You know, you take a toothbrush, you cut off the end of it, you melt a hole in it to hold the barrel. You got to be a scientist and you create these things, or an engineer. should say.
An
not
engineer,
scientist, yeah.
chemist, engineer.
Yeah, something like that. Because then you got to make the ink, you got to burn stuff and catch the soot. So I had all that to get tatted by this Mexican kid, and then there was a riot, and then all the Mexican kids that was there, they got taken from that riot. So now I had all this shit, and I couldn't get tatted. So then there was a lockdown for Mercer. We were locked down 27 days, the whole prison.
Damn.
And then in that 27 days, thank God it happened. We were all miserable. I hate being in the cell, but in that 27 days, he finally talked me into doing the tat, and I had all the equipment. I was just like, let's set it up and do it.
Fuck it.
And it was a cross right here. I'll never forget it, bro. It was sticking in my head forever. And I started running the lines. We were using deodorant sticks to get the stencil on there.
Yeah.
And then he started bleeding right away. So then I went to wipe the blood, wipe the cross away. And then I'm trying to freehand the crossing. I was sweating in the room, stressed out. Needless to say, it came out like shit. But I don't know, something. It was just a calling after that. I just wanted to do it. So.
That's pretty dope. But doing something that you're not supposed to do, that's one thing. Break the rules to be able to become where you are now. That's impressive, I think.
Yeah, so like even like the news said, like a rule worth breaking. I totally agree. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to tell nobody like you should break rules to get ahead and stuff. But sometimes, man, a rule that's governed by certain laws might be a rule that you have to bend or break a little bit just to get ahead, to become positive. It wasn't like I was trying to do it and do it intentionally to get in trouble. I just didn't care if I got in trouble because I knew that I had nothing to go home to.
Yep.
So I had to utilize what I had in jail, and that was my art, was tattooing. And it's crazy because you do go to the hole. Like, you sit down in that hole, boring as shit. But even down there, I would just draw. I'd get a little piece of pencil like this, rip off the rubber off my sneaker, and sit there and draw. And I didn't care if it was on toilet paper or nothing. I'm gonna draw, and I was like, I'm gonna do this when I go home.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you did. So, how long actually did you stay in jail, in the prison?
10 years.
Did you tattoo right when you got out, or did you do when you got out?
So when I got out of the feds, I worked at Marquette's. I left there. I worked at Atomic Salon, cut hair for a while, and then I was cutting hair, bouncing, doing security in clubs, and tatting on the side. So
you still tatting too?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's what's up.
Yeah. But anything else?
I don't think so. I think we covered pretty good.
People ask me on my social media, for the people that ask me where my nickname came from, Tattboy1000. So I can start with that, and that actually started in jail, the Tat Boy. The 1000 was something like when I came home. But I was always joking there, like, yo, I'm tatted, boy. Because you know what I mean, I take my shirt off and I'm fully covered, so I'm like, I'm tatted, boy. And then when I got out, I just ran with Tat Boy, but somebody on social media already had it, so I was like, then I got to add a number. So I was adding Tattboy100. Mm-hmm. But then it was like came home and I seen people saying they kept it 100 that didn't keep it 100. They either ratted, they were a thief, or whatever it was. They weren't loyal and they weren't an honorable person. So I was like, if they keep it 100, I must keep it 1,000. Yeah. So then Tattboy1000 was created.
That's cool. That's pretty awesome how that came. I didn't even know.
So if you guys want to ask more questions, we're gonna be open books. You can ask me about my past, ask me about when I was growing up. There's a lot of things that I'm willing to talk about and share to inspire other people that we're gonna go through shit. You can overcome it.
What do we always say? Change is possible.
Facts, and we live to inspire.
Facts.
Ink Me in the building.
Ink Me Tattoos, meet the artist, Joshua Perry.
Part 2.
Joshua Ink Me Perry, Tattboy1000. I'm here, Jay Ink Me Morrison. Let's go, fellas. Let's go.
Follow, share. Have a beautiful day.
Take care, guys.